What is the final step in creating a collage?
You got it. Your choice, letting it dry, is right. What should be excluded from the conclusion? Correct. New information is the right answer.
How many paragraphs should you write for Q3?
Good job. Your answer 3-4 works well here. What material did you need to make a collage? Nice work. You chose all of the above and it is correct. What do you use to mix colors when painting? You chose palette, and it is correct. Mr. Thomas put several big bins in the room. Correct response. Big is the most accurate answer. Other unwanted materials are removed by dash. Solid response. Screening is a valid choice. A person in a story is referred to as a dash. You're right. Character is the correct answer. Bending of a stem towards sunlight is called. Exactly. Phototropism makes sense, and it is right choice. Fusion of male gamete with the egg is called. Good thinking. Fertilization is the right answer.
Three-dimensional, has height, width, and volume.
Valid point. Form is true. How were the city's birth records destroyed? Smart pick. Major earthquake and fire is the correct choice. What is the setting at the end of the story? Strong choice. The Dragon's Cave is the right answer. The Dadaists wrote flowery, elaborate verses. Well picked. False is the correct answer.
Which French verb inspired the term collage?
Excellent choice. Collar or to glue is the right answer. What is the meaning of accelerando in music? Sharp thinking. Becoming faster is the right choice. Which of the following is not three-dimensional? Great job. A still life drawing is the accurate answer. This part of the object gets the least light. Perfect. Shade is the correct choice. Which of the following are not coarse paper? Bravo. Greaseproof paper is the answer. Which medium can use as Montage's material? On track. All correct is the correct answer. Line spacing of a collage document should be. Well done. Double space is the right choice. Q3 is similar to which question on paper 1? Clear logic. Your choice 2 is sound and 100% true. Choose all elements of postmodernism below. Smart move. Intertextuality is an accurate answer. This is the place where buntal is abundant. Right again. Buhol is a valid answer. The area that an object takes up is called. Excellent. Positive space is a brilliant choice. Flowers having both androsium and gynoecium. Nice selection. Bisexual flower is the correct and valid answer. How many paragraphs are in a positon paper? Great thinking. 3 paragraphs is the right choice. Which are the reproductive organs in plants? Nicely done. Flowers is a solid answer. Picture of yourself that you painted or drew. Right choice. Self-portrait is the best answer. Which two colors do you mix to make purple? Well reasoned. Red and blue is the correct choice.
What museum currently houses ivy and flower?
You chose Dallas Museum of Art, and it is correct. How many steps are there in recycling paper? Great job. 6 is the accurate answer. Which paper format has the largest surface? Right choice. A1 is the best answer. What is the term for adding white to a hue? Well done. Tints is the right choice. Land art is an art done on the land or dash. Good thinking. Earth is the right answer. What is the purpose of creating a college? Perfect. To recycle old materials is the correct choice. Rock, paper, scissors is the best hand game. Nicely done. No is a solid answer. How many marks are available in Section A? Clear logic. Your choice 40 is sound and 100% true. Where is Kai's mother hanging the college? Strong choice. On the wall is the right answer. How many questions are there in Section A? You got it. Your choice 4 is right. Flat, two-dimensional, has height and width. Excellent. Shape is a brilliant choice. What materials are used in making collage? Smart move. Paper and glue is an accurate answer. Paper beats scissors or scissors beat paper. Exactly. Scissors beat paper makes sense, and it is right choice. How many marks are awarded for question 5? Sharp thinking. 40 is the right choice. I dash. A university student 10 years ago? Valid point. Was is true. There were dash of bugs all over the park. Great thinking. Swarms is the right choice. Do people like playing rock, paper, scissors? Correct. Sometimes is the right answer. When he was 6 years old, he moved to dash. Bravo. Germany is the answer. A list of sources used in a research paper. Right again. Citation machine is a valid answer. The first page of the book is called Dash. You're right. Title page is the correct answer. You can access the databases by going to... Excellent choice. The school's homepage is the right answer.
Which place is famous for terracotta art?
Nice selection. Kolkata is the correct and valid answer. The margins on the paper should be set at? Smart pick. 1 inch is the correct choice. Choose the correct synonym for college. Well picked. University is the correct answer, also known as transmigration of souls. Good job. Your answer B, reincarnation, works well here. Number of spaces before a comma or period. Solid response. Zoe is a valid choice. Choose the even number. On track. 12 is the correct answer. The follow are classes of drawing except. Nice work. You chose artificial drawing and it is correct. A thesis statement is how many sentences? Well reasoned. 1 is the correct choice. I had to climb to the top of all the dash. Correct response. Skyscrapers is the most accurate answer.
Grid line is most used in art and design.
You're right. True is the correct answer. Which word does not fit under visual art? Perfect. Voice is the correct choice. What is the last step in recycling paper?
Right choice. New paper is the best answer.
The sounds we hear in each and every word? Exactly. Syllables make sense, and it is right choice.
Was Louis Cher Kim consider a paper son?
Well picked. Yes is the correct answer. Our small class collected a lot of paper.
Smart pick. Small is the correct choice.
What is the first step in making collage? Good job. Your answer choose pictures works well here. What medium is Romer Bearden known for? Bravo. Collage is the answer. Rock beats scissors or scissors beat rock. Well reasoned. Rock beats scissors is the correct choice. Which connects the flower with the plant? Excellent choice. Pedicel is the right answer. The very hungry caterpillar is for dash. Right again. Children is a valid answer. Dash healthy food is good for your body. Strong choice. Eating is the right answer. Respiration in aquatic animals occurs by clear logic. Your choice skills is sound and 100% true. Cubism used overlapping geometric shapes. Nice work. You chose true, and it is correct. Which one is an institution of learning? Correct response. College is the most accurate answer. Each paragraph is dash at the beginning. Great job. Indented is the accurate answer. This place is the widest tobacco supplier. Solid response. Eastern Visayas is a valid choice. How long should you spend on question 2? You got it. Your choice 8 minutes is right. I can cut and paste paper to make a dash. You chose college, and it is correct. A dash can be made up or it can be real. Well done. Story is the right choice. Father of modern Philippine sculpture. Nice selection. Napoleon Abueva is the correct and valid answer. What civilization did college begin in? Valid point. China is true.
In literature, a mosaic can refer to
excellent. A collection of stories is a brilliant choice. College comes from TEF French word, dash. Sharp thinking. Collar is the right choice.
someone who travels to space is called
Smart move. Astronaut is an accurate answer. Cubism makes use of simple dash shapes. Correct. Geometric is the right answer. Czechoslovakia. Nicely done. Czechoslovakia is a solid answer. What tense should your responses be in? On track. Past is the correct answer.
what step is drying in recycling paper?
Great thinking. Fifth is the right choice. A dash is a structure used for weaving. Good thinking. Loom is the right answer. This woman was a prominent Dada artist. Right choice. Hannah Hotch is the best answer. Dash, a college, is an interesting hobby. Good job. Your answer making works well here. List 3 materials needed in drawing. You chose pencil, ruler, color pencil, and it is correct. Choose the matching synonyms for infant. Exactly. Baby makes sense and it is right choice. A drawing of man-made objects is called. Bravo. Still life drawing is the answer. Which of these is not a primary color? Smart move. Orange is an accurate answer. Drawing of plants and animals is called. Nicely done. Nature drawing is a solid answer. Which city is famous for kalamkari art?
On track. Machilipatnam is the correct answer.
Is an example of what kind of fraction? Excellent. Proper fraction is a brilliant choice. Bond paper can be used in making collage.
Well done. True is the right choice.
After fertilization, ovule develops into. Well reasoned. Seed is the correct choice. What color is complementary to yellow? Perfect. Violet is the correct choice. When drawing, your work has to be dash. Well picked. Centralized is the correct answer. Materials for making bead bag are dash. Solid response, beads, finishing line is a valid choice. Our class started a recycling project. Strong choice. Recycling is the right answer. Dash to your teacher if you need help. Correct. Talk is the right answer. Correct font size for college document. Sharp thinking. 12 is the right choice. What country made origami a decent art? Clear logic. Your choice Japan is sound and 100% true. We tell stories to make ourselves dash. Excellent choice. Happy is the right answer. What word means folding in Japanese?
Smart pick. Ori is the correct choice.
What is the key to any paper airplane? Right again. Sharp creases is a valid answer. What does adding gray to a hue create? Nice work. You chose tones and it is correct. College became an art form during dash.
Valid point. Synthetic cubism is true.
Jason added a stack of old newspapers.
Correct response. Old is the most accurate answer.
Which one of these is unisexual flower? Great job. Pumpkin is the accurate answer. Female reproductive part of the flower. You're right. Gynoecium is the correct answer. Where does the term college come from? You got it? Your choice, the French term collar, is right. We added our cereal boxes to the bin. Great thinking. Cereal is the right choice. What is the name of your art teacher? Nice selection. Mr. Muhammad is the correct and valid answer. A brief summary of the research paper. Good thinking. Abstract is the right answer.
Collage techniques were first used in.
Strong choice. China is the right answer.
In what country was origami invented? Perfect. China is the correct choice. A collage is an abstract work of art. Smart pick. True is the correct choice.
You can add texture to paintings with.
On track? All of the above is the correct answer. What colors do you mix to make green? Excellent choice. Blue and yellow is the right answer. Collages cannot be created digitally. You got it? Your choice false is right.
It is a cut and paste art techniques.
Great thinking. Cut and paste is the right choice. Jack was born in the year of the dash. Right choice. Tiger is the best answer. What profession was Picasso's father? You're right. Art teacher is the correct answer. It refers to the intensity of colors. Well picked. Saturation is the correct answer. He was 10 years old when dash began. Sharp thinking. War E is the right choice. A sculpture is an example of 2D art. Valid point. No is true. How does paper get the white color? Exactly. Coating makes sense, and it is right choice. Which mirror is used in solar cooker? Correct response. Concave mirror is the most accurate answer. A drawing made from memory is called. Well done. Imaginative drawing is the right choice. When a clay work is fired, it becomes. Solid response. Terracotta is a valid choice. Dash is the next odd number after 13. Great job. 15 is the accurate answer. We took the bins to the green truck. You chose green, and it is correct. You can use lines to dash a picture. Nice selection. Draw is the correct and valid answer. The place where artworks are sold is. Clear logic. Your choice art gallery is sound and 100% true. The object itself is an example of. Nicely done. Positive space is a solid answer. Can we use a stone to make collage? Bravo! A yes is the answer. It was a dash. Sunrise this morning. Correct. Glorious is the right answer. Flat lines make an object seem dash. Excellent. Flat is a brilliant choice. To cite is to give to a source. Nice work. You chose A credit, and it is correct. What is the size of a letter paper? Good thinking. 8.5x11 is the right answer. Paper collage is the same as mosaic. Well reasoned. False is the correct choice. The running header is placed in the. Right again. Top right corner is a valid answer. Having or deserving praise or honor? Smart move. Glorious is an accurate answer. Assemblage is what type of process? Good job. Your answer additive works well here. Paper beat rock or rock beat paper? Strong choice. Paper beat rock is the right answer. Reduce or simplify this fraction 24/40. 3/5 is a solid answer. True false references must be cited. Nice work. You chose true and it is correct. What can you use to make a collage? Correct. All of the above is the right answer. What do we use in an opinion essay? Sharp thinking. Connectors is the right choice. The words of a song are called dash. Well done. Lyrics is the right choice. Which color is not a primary color? Correct response. Purple is the most accurate answer. Don Anselmo sold his land for dash. Well picked. $100 is the correct answer. Rock, paper, scissors, it's all about. Valid point. Having fun is true. Decorating with knotted string is. You got it. Your choice, macrame, is right. Dash is the design done on a wall. Nice selection. Mural is the correct and valid answer. A picture of myself is called dash. On track. Self-portrait is the correct answer. The area in and around an artwork. Clear logic. Your choice space is sound and 100% true. All headings must be in bold type. Right choice. True is the best answer. Number of spaces between sentences. Exactly. One makes sense and it is right choice. The paper menagerie is set in dash. Smart pick. Connecticut is the correct choice. Landscape drawing consists of dash. Right again. Houses, trees, and roads is a valid answer. What is the antonym of graduate? Great thinking. Dropout is the right choice. Which word is a synonym for annoy? Solid response. Bother is a valid choice. The Cubist painters explored dash. Smart move. Form, space, perspective is an accurate answer. What is the color of a sunflower? Excellent choice. Yellow is the right answer. Blue and yellow makes what color? Good thinking. Green is the right answer. The narrator of the story is dash. Good job. Your answer. The sun works well here. A slam poem is an example of dash. Excellent. Postmodernism is a brilliant choice. What was Omar Rayo's nationality? You chose Colombian, and it is correct. Sculpture is artwork that is dash. Bravo! Three-dimensional 3D is the answer. Nature drawing can be called dash. Great job. Plant and animal is the accurate answer. Decorating with paper cutouts is. Perfect. Decoupage is the correct choice. Rembrandt was born in Amsterdam. You're right. True is the correct answer. What continent was Picasso from? Well reasoned. Europe is the correct choice. Kai wants to make a special dash. Good job. Your answer picture works well here. The distance between 2 points. On track. Line is the correct answer.
Usually, Swami was sleeping dash. Right choice. Beside his granny is the best answer.
How many stages did cubism have?
Smart move. 2 is an accurate answer.
The artist palettes are used for.
Great thinking. Painting is the right choice. The colors known as cool colors. Great job. Blue, green, and purple is the accurate answer.
These artists developed cubism. Perfect. Picasso and Break is the correct choice.
Walking in a self-important way.
Good thinking. Strutting is the right answer.
Which is an aquatic adaptation.
Smart pick. Streamlined body is the correct choice. Known as the houses of worship.
Nice work. You chose A Baha'i and it is correct. To put different parts together. You got it? Your choice assemble is right. There are dash elements of art. Nicely done. 7 is a solid answer. Leon brought wrapping paper. Nice selection. Wrapping is the correct and valid answer.
Examples of primary colors are.
Exactly. Red, blue, yellow makes sense, and it is right choice. A dash can be drawn on the body. Clear logic. Your choice tattoo is sound and 100% true.
The most famous cubist was Dash.
Excellent choice. Picasso is the right answer. Collage art can be done on dash.
Correct. Paper is the right answer.
Elements of art are also called.
Well picked. Elements of design is the correct answer. Origami started in this country. Strong choice. China is the right answer. What does the term collar mean?
You chose to glue. And it is correct.
His famous book is called Dash.
Well done. The very hungry caterpillar is the right choice.
Another word for model is dash. Valid point. Sculpture is true.
How many sources are required?
Solid response. 4 is a valid choice.
What is used to dry the paper? Bravo, heated rollers is the answer.
The workers wore thick gloves.
Right again. Thick is a valid answer. What do you need to do for Q1? Excellent. Identify 4 true statements is a brilliant choice. Which tool do you use to draw? Sharp thinking. Pencil is the right choice.
Number of spaces between words.
Correct response. 1 is the most accurate answer. The antonym of difficult is. You're right. Easy is the correct answer. I hate dash, Krat. It's hard.
Well reasoned. Doing is the correct choice.
Being the only one of its kind. Correct response. Unique is the most accurate answer. Which part grows into a fruit? Nice work. You chose ovary and it is correct. What is clay used for in art? Excellent choice. Making sculptures is the right answer. Beadwork is classified under. Exactly.
Craft makes sense and it is right choice. A mirror with a plain surface. Clear logic. Your choice plain mirror is sound and 100% true. Do see cleaning agents are called. Solid response. Toilet bowl cleaner is a valid choice. Dash is not a primary color. Well done. Black is the right choice. What is pulp usually made of? Good job. Your answer plants works well here. Sunken stomata are present in. Nicely done. Seraphites is a solid answer. A color or a shade of a color. On track. Hue is the correct answer. An irregular shape is called. Perfect. Organic shape is the correct choice. I made a dash for art class. You're right. College is the correct answer. Is yellow a secondary color? Nice selection. False is the correct and valid answer. Where is Madhubani art from? Valid point. Bahar is true. Where did I leave my wallet? Good thinking. Question is the right answer. Definition of tempo in music. Smart move. Speed is an accurate answer. Take me out to the ball game. Correct. Imperative is the right answer. What is a college technique? Well picked. All are correct is the correct answer. A landscape is a picture of. Strong choice. The land is the right answer. What does to sum up mean? Excellent. To summarize is a brilliant choice. The name of your school is? Well reasoned. Pampas Private School Lekki is the correct choice. Noten Designs originated in? Bravo. Japan is the answer. Correct alignment for title. You chose center align, and it is correct. The blue bin was for paper. You got it. Your choice blue is right. What does red and blue make? Right again. Purple is a valid answer. College cannot do by pupils. Smart pick. False is the correct choice. An opinion essay is formal. Great job. True is the accurate answer. How many marks is Q2 worth? Right choice. 8 marks is the best answer. What are the types of art? Great thinking. All of these is the right choice. What country made origami? Sharp thinking. China is the right choice. Ceiling broom function for? Excellent. Clean the palette is a brilliant choice. What is the primary color? Well reasoned. Red is the correct choice. Who does Kai ask for help? Strong choice. His art teacher is the right answer. Symmetry is when lines are. Bravo. Parallel is the answer. An agent of pollination is. Smart move. Wind is an accurate answer. What is the purpose of art? Perfect. To have fun is the correct choice. The art word for cloth is? Well done. Fabric is the right choice. Durable, robust, lasting. You chose hardy. And it is correct. The prince's name is Dash. Correct response. Ronald is the most accurate answer. Beads can be used to make. Good job. Your answer pattern works well here. Worried or uncomfortable? Valid point. Linese is true. The Moors got origami too? Smart pick. Spain is the correct choice. What does MLA stand for? Good thinking. Modern Language Association is the right answer. What are houses made of? Sharp thinking. Bricks is the right choice. What does origami mean? Well picked. Folding paper is the correct answer. Blue and yellow make dash. Correct. Green is the right answer. Rainbow color order is. Nice work. You chose rooibos, and it is correct. Which is a simple fruit? Great thinking. Mango is the right choice. What are earth colors? Solid response. Brown is a valid choice. We use addition to. Excellent choice. Add more arguments is the right answer. When was collage coined? Clear logic. Your choice 1910 is sound and 100% true. The two types of shape. Nicely done. Geometric and organic is a solid answer. Fourth equal to right in English. Nice selection. Fourth is the correct and valid answer. What Kai uses for sun? You got it. Your choice, yellow paper, is right. What does Q2 focus on? Great job. Summarizing is the accurate answer. 6 tens plus 3 ones equal to dash. Exactly. 63 makes sense and it is right choice. Who is Henri Matisse? Right again. A French artist is a valid answer. Eric was born in dash. You're right. 1929 is the correct answer. What does Lago mean? Right choice. Very slow is the best answer. How do you make them? On track. Glue, colors, and paint is the correct answer. Which one is correct? On track. Consensus is the correct answer. What is a sculpture? Exactly. A statue of art makes sense, and it is right choice. Eric Kale is in dash. Nicely done. Artist is a solid answer. Tom is dash, then me. Strong choice, bigger, is the right answer. Moderated means dash. Great job. Moderate is the accurate answer. What color is paper? Excellent. White is a brilliant choice. I love craft because. Well done. All is the right choice. A line has no limits. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. To gather is to dash. Bravo. Collect is the answer. Art deals with dash. Solid response. Creativity is a valid choice. Very tall buildings
Right again? Skyscrapers is a valid answer.
Cards are made with. Excellent choice. Stiff papers and glue is the right answer. Is playing an art? Perfect. Yes is the correct choice. Simplifies to dash. Valid point. 2p5 is true. What is a collage? You chose a piece of art. And it is correct.
Choose odd one out.
Smart pick. William Wordsworth is the correct choice. Which one is art? Correct response. College is the most accurate answer. Are you an artist? Correct. Max is the right answer. Mix blue and red. Good job. Your answer, purple, works well here. Elements of art. Sharp thinking. All of the above is the right choice. New and original. You got it. Your choice, innovative, is right. Gone mostly use. Good thinking. Rock is the right answer. 3D art is flat. Smart move. No is an accurate answer. Roma was a dash. Nice work. You chose call center executive and it is correct. Mila stands for. Nice selection. Modern Language Association is the correct and valid answer. She likes dash. Clear logic. Your choice, swimming is sound and 100% true. And like dash. Right choice. Art is the best answer. 2 plus 5 equal to dash. You're right. 7 is the correct answer. Rock is? Great thinking. Gray is the right choice. 12 plus. Well picked. Copy is the correct answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Bravo. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the answer.